Hello, everybody. What a pleasure it is to talk with business partners that I trust in this world. Have you ever thought or know somebody who says, "Oh, I can't move or I can't buy because"? Well, today I have the pleasure of talking to Belinda Perez from Union Home Mortgage, and she is going to share with you just some latest information that may end up putting a little bit more confidence in your mind as far as what your plans are real estate wise this year. Welcome. Nice to see
Thank
you again.
you. Thank you very much. It's great to see you, and thank you for having me. Definitely amazing opportunity just to be able to talk to anybody that's interested in, securing their wealth through home ownership, whether they're already a homeowner, first-time home buyer, anybody out there, we're able to help them. So I'm glad when we're able to partner up and reach as many people as we can together.
You said recently that there are some new possibilities with the FHA loans. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yes, so I have a new FHA loan option. It offers 100% financing. We can either do 3.5 or 5% down. FHA only requires 3.5, but if you do 5.5, sorry, if you do 5%, then the mortgage insurance is a little bit less. So it's something to consider as far as keeping that mortgage payment a little bit lower. The down payment assistance for the 3.5 or the 5%. It goes towards a down payment. It is a 10-year repayable loan. So you're going to have a second mortgage. The first still gets paid to us. We have in-house servicing. So I'll always be a point of contact, always help with insurance, taxes, anything that happens after closing. But to get you to the closing table, we'll make sure you get that correct loan worked out for you. And so if the getting some down payment assistance to help with the out of pocket works best for you, we we get that first mortgage. Like I said, the second, you make 10 years worth of payments on it, and it'll be paid in full. And the big thing about this program is that you do not have to be a first-time home buyer, and there are no income limits. FHA does require it for it to be your primary residence, but you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. So sometimes, like with the married couple, one is owned and one has it, and you can kind of run into little snags there, but we're not going to have that issue with this loan. We can do it on 1 or 2 unit properties, but we do not allow manufactured homes in this program. But everything else, all single family, duplex, it's 2 units, we would be able to utilize this program and help limit that out of pocket.
Well, that is definitely an option. I don't know about you all, but sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't have enough money saved up." Yes, you need to qualify for those two payments. Yes, but it gets you there. Now you also have to ask yourself, "Am I just going to get something and then want to end up getting the next step up property and not be in for the 10 years?" So I know there's different loans out there that give you penalties for paying it off early. You'd have to pay it off. Well, not penalty for paying off early. I probably worded that wrong. But as far as you'd have to pay it off if you refinanced or sold the house. But that gives you at least one option. Did you say that there are any type of grants or anything coming out right now as far as a gift for first time home buyers or even first responders?
So their Homes for Heroes is a just an organization where you can partner to provide credits as far as to the buyer. There's any type of actual grant is going to come from like a specific organization or something like that. I do get that question, just everybody's trying to limit their out of pocket, and I completely understand that. And so a grant from any kind of an organization is absolutely allowed towards down payment or closing costs. We can utilize that very easily. It's just there's no central database for grants. It's going to be each individual organization out there. If they're providing one, you kind of just have to hunt and peck for it. But if you are a first responder, a teacher, a veteran, and you are looking for something specific, the Google search should help with that, at least to show if there's anything out there, just to be able to help you narrow that down. Um, Other options for limiting out of pocket, you can get a gift from an immediate family member, that it's very simple to organize that. I'm happy to talk to family members, if they're concerned about the process. Very simple thing to do if you have a family member that's able to do that. And then if we are doing down payment assistance or not, it helps with out of pocket. Sometimes we do ask the seller to pay. If we're going to stay on the FHA loan topic for now, sellers can pay up to 6%. However, when I talk to my buyers about what they're planning, how much they should plan to save up, I honestly recommend that they save the down payment and the closing costs as much as they can, because if you don't have the funds and you have to ask the seller, it's going to limit your buying power. Because some sellers are just going to flat out tell you no, or you're going to run into an issue where you just may not have quite enough. And, if the property taxes are higher, for example, or that home insurance is more. So just having as much saved up as possible is very important. But luckily, we do have programs in place, such as this down payment assistance, to help limit that out of pocket.
Well, that is wonderful. I know that you are a specialist when it comes to VA loans. So can I grab you for a second video just to give us a couple of tips on VA, since that's basically where your chunk of your business has been since your career? Does that sound okay?
Day one. Yes. No, I'd be happy to. I would love that. I love answering questions about VA loans. They're a passion of mine. And so, yeah, anything I can do to help.
So in summary, you don't need always 20% down to buy a house. If you don't have as much money and you need some help, there are options between FHA and VA, depending if you qualify, and conventional. So how do they reach you, Belinda, whenever they want to ask some questions to see what they qualify for?
If they don't want a quick chat, they can hop on my website at uhm/bperez, PEREZ.com. They want to have a quick phone conversation, text conversation. My cell is 910-916-4961. I know that's not a Florida area code, but I did grow up in my mortgage career in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So that's where that area code comes from. And that's how VA loans became near and dear to my heart. And then just one quick last thing, Deborah, you mentioned on conventional, we can go as little as 3% down on conventional. 3% for first-time home buyer. If you've owned a home in the past couple years, you generally have to do 5%, but we can go lower on those conventional loans too. So don't think that you have to have 20% down to purchase a home.
And that just brings up a lot of other conversations that I'll have to have in the future. So definitely subscribe. And that way you're notified whenever we have more conversations with Belinda and our other trusted business partners. And of course, Chuck and I are always here. So please comment below as well so we can have another conversation and what's best for you and your family. Have a great day and thank you.